Hey, lady. So glad you're here in this calm place of YouTube. I love watching these like YouTube videos on the TV. It's so much better than being on my phone, scrolling, whatever. So I plan to be here once a week, and I just want to show up, have this real talk, real conversation with you. So I didn't do all the things I've done in the past for YouTube videos because, like I said, I just want to show up, just want to connect, have this conversation with you. Um, I'm a little pink from my Friday afternoon walk. So if I look a little pink, I got my vitamin D on with a nice walk and talk with a friend this afternoon, and wanted to show up and just share what has been on my mind to share with you and give you an update on why I'm showing up here now again after a little sabbatical and focusing on other things in my life to expand into the Empress era that I am calling it. So, if you haven't been following me before, what I would love to share is that I have been a mindset and business coach for entrepreneurs since 2016. I've built several businesses. I have helped a lot of women and a few men start and grow their businesses, especially in the wellness space, and some creatives, other entrepreneurs, realtors, and even a couple musicians and singers. So that's been really fun. And now, so something that has really been like what I've moved through the past few years and have really started noticing like conversations with friends, conversations with other women that are 40 and above, or like moving into that, is this thing that's called perimenopause. And if you're still here, still listening, then I think it might be speaking to you, and you know what I mean. And so we've had this experience of like some symptoms happening, some mood changes, some energy changes, and you're just like, what the actual fuck? And then you start to dig into it, and maybe you've tried the like hormone replacement therapy. Maybe you've done cleanses, maybe you've done the supplements, whatever you've done, but you found me, and for some reason you're still listening, so it's aligned and speaking to you. But I want to get just real about this, and I also want to talk about some of the things that are not really out there and are not really talked about and are not really supported. And these pieces are things that have really, really helped me and some other women. And it's more about getting to the root of it all, instead of just having like a band-aid approach, or doing these things that maybe you have or haven't done and they maybe have given you some side effects. For me, that's what I experienced. I tried progesterone compounded, the best quality, and it kind of made things a lot worse. And the nausea turned to vomiting. The hormonal belly was a real thing where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so bloated. People would ask me if I was pregnant. And I'm like, no, I'm not fucking pregnant. This is hormonal, and I'm trying to fix things and balance things. And it's so annoying to have to deal with that. So here I am dealing with the emotional healing piece, like I said, that is not really talked about. And I want to really show up and share in a real way so you can be guided in getting to the root of this. And so you don't have to have the band-aid approaches, and you can deal with this time in your life more naturally and more holistically. And so, yeah, just talking about a couple of the other pieces of what brought me into this. Like I said, I was dealing with some of these things the last 3 years. Some friends, some other women, we were talking about this and we were kind of laughing to each other. And then we were like, oh my gosh, we have literally been in isolation about this. We've been, well, some days are solitude, some days it's straight up isolation. But it's suffering in silence. And this is why I want to show up. This is why I want to speak to you here. This is why I want to connect to you and invite you to learning the things that I have found that really work. And that can work for you. Even at the very least, you're not alone in it, which is the biggest part. But yeah, the suffering in silence, especially those women like me, like my friends, like the women in the arena. We are the go-getters, we are the super achievers, the super attractors, into manifesting, into the spiritual things, into the nice things, and into living a bigger, better life. And we do all the things. And a lot of times we are maybe a little bit hyper independent. So I want to put that out there and tell you that um, getting support is not a weakness, it is actually a strength. And with the caveat of make sure you are getting support from someone who has been through it. Because if they haven't experienced it, they haven't been through the arena, they are not going to be able to really understand and hold space and support you. So ask me how I know. I shared with the wrong people and I'm like, oh my gosh, no. So don't do that. Be here. get into the conversations with your friends who might be going through it or whoever. But there are a lot of things that change and shift, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. This isn't me. I like things are happening. So what I want to cover here is, yeah, this piece that's not really talked about is the emotional support and the emotional healing and the emotional clearing piece of these symptoms and these feelings and staying stuck in maybe the past is what I want to talk about more. And maybe you're also in a place where you're feeling disconnected from yourself, you're feeling disconnected from your husband, partner, whoever, maybe even friends as well. And at the same time, so like you're not sleeping, that's running into the next day, your energy, your relationships, your conversations. And at the same time, then you also at night, this is what I've experienced too, is you get all these downloads and all these ideas, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to like, it's like 1 a.m., it's 2 a.m., it's 3 a.m., it's 4 a.m., I can't sleep even though I didn't have coffee, even though I did this cleanse, even though I had these supplements, even though I had the progesterone, even though I had the sleep chews, even though my room is dark, cool, like all the things. And you're just like, oh my gosh. So you have all of this going on. And I'll explain more in some other videos too of like what that really is. But yeah, you've been through a lot. You're here now. And now you're like, what now? What now? You've checked the boxes and now you feel like you're in somebody's body. You want to figure this out. You want to get unstuck. You want to feel even better. Like it's not about like finding and reconnecting with your past self. No, like you want the upgrade. You want the better self. And that's like what I said earlier is what I'm coining my Empress era, because it's all about stepping into like feeling emotionally regulated, owning your emotions, getting clear getting focused about like what you want now and what you're creating in the future, because now you have all these big ideas. And so it's getting your brain and your body on board. So I want to invite you to subscribe, like, share this video if this is speaking to you already, and follow along. I plan to show up here once a week and share just another little real talk, and I'll share more details. So share what you're dealing with if you want in the comments below, or I'll have the email subscription below as well soon. But yeah, nobody is talking about this. So I want to come up here and talk to you about it and just share some of these amazing modalities that I've learned that I know can help you. So you're not stuck in this for like 10 years, which some women can. But you can get unstuck, you can move forward and get into that place of healing and also connecting with other women. So you're not suffering in silence, you're not staying in isolation, but we're in this together, and together we will get into the Empress era. So thanks for listening. I'll talk to you again soon. Lots of love.